Welcome to the channel, and welcome to another video. In a world divided by ideologies, the United States and Canada share a border and many similarities, yet their approaches to gun laws, gun culture, and the prevalence of mass shootings differ significantly. To unravel this intricate narrative, let us embark on a journey to understand the historical, cultural, and legal aspects that shape these two nations. The United States, the land of freedom and opportunity, has a complex relationship with firearms. Rooted in its revolutionary history, the Second Amendment of the U.S. Constitution grants citizens the right to bear arms. This fundamental right has contributed to a distinct gun culture and a deeply ingrained belief in individualism and self-defense. As a result, firearms have become an integral part of American society. Over the years, the United States has experienced a dynamic evolution in its gun laws. While federal regulations exist, individual states have considerable autonomy in crafting their own policies. The accessibility and availability of firearms vary widely across the country. The debate surrounding gun control is a polarizing topic, often entangled in political and ideological divisions. The United States has struggled with an alarming number of mass shootings, leaving an indelible mark on its collective conscience. The reasons behind this phenomenon are multifaceted, encompassing complex issues such as mental health, societal alienation, and the interplay of violence in media. While some argue that gun accessibility contributes to the frequency of these incidents, others maintain that mental health services and social support systems should be the primary focus. In contrast to its southern neighbor, Canada has taken a distinct approach to gun laws and gun culture. With a history rooted in British governance, Canada does not have an explicit constitutional right to bear arms. The Canadian Firearms Act, enacted in 1995, establishes a regulatory framework for firearm ownership, focusing on public safety, background checks, and mandatory licensing. Canada's gun culture differs significantly from that of the United States. While hunting and recreational shooting are prevalent, the emphasis on self-defense and personal security is not as pronounced. Canadian society often views firearms more as tools for sport and hunting rather than instruments of self-preservation. A 2017 study by the Small Arms Survey showed that the US had an estimated 120.5 guns per 100 people, while Canada had 34.7 guns per 100 people. That makes up about 393 million guns in America and 12 million guns in Canada. Given the renewed interest for gun ownership and the passage of time, these numbers are sure to have increased. Comparing mass shootings in the United States and Canada reveals stark contrasts. Statistics consistently demonstrate that the United States experiences a disproportionately higher number of mass shootings per capita than its northern neighbor. While no single factor can explain this disparity, the combination of divergent gun laws, cultural attitudes, and societal factors likely contributes to the disparity. To gain insight into the path forward, let us delve into the historical contexts of both nations. The United States has a long-standing tradition of individualism and self-reliance, stemming from its origins as a frontier society. This mindset, combined with the historical need for self-defense and protection against hostile forces, has influenced the American perception of firearms. In contrast, Canada's historical development was shaped by British governance and a more centralized authority. With a focus on community values and cooperative efforts, the Canadian approach to firearms reflects a collective responsibility for public safety. One cannot ignore the impact of gun laws in shaping the prevalence of mass shootings. In the United States, the diversity of state-level gun regulations creates a patchwork of policies, allowing for varying levels of firearm accessibility and ownership requirements. While some states have implemented stricter regulations, others prioritize a more permissive approach, contributing to the differing outcomes observed across regions. Canada's stricter gun laws, including mandatory background checks, wait times, licensing, registration, and a prohibition on assault weapons, place a greater emphasis on preventing potentially dangerous individuals from obtaining firearms. While no system is foolproof, these measures aim to mitigate risks associated with gun ownership. Cultural attitudes towards firearms play a significant role in shaping the prevalence of gun violence. In the United States, the image of the gun-toting cowboy has become deeply ingrained in popular culture, often glorifying and romanticizing the use of firearms. This portrayal, coupled with a pervasive sense of individualism, can contribute to a less cautious approach to gun ownership. In Canada, where the narrative revolves more around recreational shooting and hunting, responsible gun ownership is emphasized. The focus lies on proper training, safe storage, and adherence to regulations. The process of obtaining a firearms license in Canada can take up to 3 months. This process includes an 8 to 12-hour mandatory training course with an 80% passing grade and a minimum 28 days waiting period. This distinction in gun culture can influence how firearms are perceived and utilized within society. Mass shootings are complex incidents influenced by various societal factors. While easy access to firearms may be a contributing factor, it is essential to consider underlying issues such as mental health, social alienation, and inequality. Addressing these root causes requires a holistic approach that encompasses improved mental health services, early intervention programs, and social support systems. The issue of mass shootings extends beyond national borders. Engaging in open dialogue and sharing best practices is crucial to combating gun violence globally. By collaborating with international partners, the United States and Canada can both exchange knowledge and ideas, promoting innovative solutions to mitigate the risk of mass shootings and foster a safer society. Understanding the differences in gun laws, gun culture, and historical contexts between the United States and Canada paves the way for meaningful action. Striving for common ground and finding solutions that balance individual rights with public safety is imperative. Public awareness campaigns, community engagement, and responsible gun ownership education can play a pivotal role in shaping attitudes towards firearms. Strengthening background checks, implementing waiting periods, and promoting safe storage practices are additional steps that can help prevent tragedies. The disproportionate number of mass shootings in the United States versus Canada is a complex narrative influenced by a multitude of factors. While gun laws and cultural attitudes undoubtedly shape this reality, addressing the underlying causes of violence requires a comprehensive approach. By fostering a sense of shared responsibility, both nations can work towards reducing the incidence of mass shootings. This entails collaboration between lawmakers, mental health professionals, law enforcement agencies, and community organizations. Through education, early intervention, and accessible mental health services, individuals at risk can receive the support they need before resorting to violence. Furthermore, comprehensive gun control measures can be implemented, taking into account the unique circumstances and values of each nation. Striking a balance between individual rights and public safety, policies should focus on closing loopholes, strengthening background checks, and restricting access to firearms for individuals with a history of violence or mental illness. Additionally, investing in research on gun violence and its underlying causes is crucial for evidence-based policymaking. By understanding the intricate factors that contribute to mass shootings, lawmakers can craft effective legislation that addresses the root issues, while respecting constitutional rights. Ultimately, the journey towards reducing mass shootings in the United States and in Canada requires a commitment to empathy, understanding, and collaboration. It is a collective responsibility to create societies where individuals can flourish without resorting to violence. By examining the differences in gun laws, gun culture, and historical contexts, and by actively seeking solutions, both nations can strive for safer communities and a future free from the devastating impact of mass shootings. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like, share it on social media, and don't forget to subscribe.